Live.
Hey, what's cracking, Planet Earth? It's your boy Griff, broadcasting live from Dallas, Texas, out of the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell studios. But look here, I'm on the screen with somebody that we're going to love this interview. His name is Daliso Chaponda. He's actually the son of a former minister of education out of Malawi. He was born in exile in Zambia. Became a comedian when he went to the university in Canada in Montreal. Daliso, what's cracking, my guy?
Hey, how you doing? Excellent.
I thought I lived in a bunch of places. My dude, you get around.
I have been on the run like a terrorist. I'm telling you, bouncing from place to place all my life.
So with your father being let's just get right into the beef of this. Griff here with the Azanian All-Stars, talking to one of the Azanian All-Stars right now live. Your father being a minister of education and having to move so much, I'm assuming he was very, very intelligent, but also very militant at the same time. How was that growing up?
Exactly. It was like a workhorse. It was all about education, work hard, work hard, work hard. All of my family, we went on the straight and narrow path. We've got doctors and economists, and then out of nowhere, I found comedy and threw the plan askew.
Your father must hate your life. All that education he gave you, sent you to Canada to go to school with good, wholesome white people, and you want to be a clown.
Yes, all the money invested, all of the hopes and dreams, and I just threw them down the toilet. But I'll tell you what's funny is at first, the first few years he was horrified. Then when you start appearing in the newspapers and you're having like sellout shows, suddenly he's telling everyone, "Oh, it was my idea all along."
That's how I raised him. You know, everybody else was doctors and economists, but I said this one right here, he got a clown spirit. I'm gonna sprinkle this clown spirit on it.
A bit of spin.
So answer me this. So you became a comedian while writing plays and different fiction stories and stuff while you were in college. How did you actually cross over from writing to be an actual comic?
Well, I thought I was going to be like the next great African writer. So I was going to write the big novel. But I was writing plays and fiction, but I was living in Canada where there's the Just for Laughs festival. And I'd never actually seen stand-up. And when I saw it, it just blew my mind because it was so immediate. And so I just started doing open mics, and it took over from the writing. I still do it, but it became the primary dream.
How long have you been doing comedy now? So let me tell you. So today is the 27th. I've been doing comedy today for 21 years, 6 months, a week, and 6 days.
Wow. It's about that. Let me see. So right now it's 18 years. 18 years.
That's dope. And what was your best show? Like, what was you? I mean, to us, sometimes it'd be a bar with 30 people and we just be on fire. But like for somebody who don't know this business, like what was your big show?
My big one, I think it was like my graduation show, sort of just because I had been doing comedy in bars and clubs. And then I was invited to the Melbourne Festival and flown over there. And it was the first time I was flown and paid. And I could not believe it. So the whole experience was astonishing. And I was sitting next to famous people. And I was just like, wow, I belong here. This is crazy. So yes. That was the one. That was the one. From that moment on, I felt I was a pro.
Well, Daliso, Nick Wilson, who is the creator of My Child and the Azanian All-Stars, it was very important for him to make sure that I knew you was one of the continent's great satirical writers, man. That's a huge hat to wear. You feel like you rocking that hat cool?
Oh, I think it's great. And also the good thing is that African comedy, I feel right now is like on the tip of exploding.
Yes.
For the last 10, 15 years, there have been a few voices, people getting better, stumbling around in the dark. And now these last few years, we've had a few breakthroughs. And I'm like, I'm ready.
You know what was important when they did the Comedy Central Africa's first, well, not Comedy Central Africa, but when Comedy Central did their first festival, and they held it in Johannesburg last year. That was such a big deal because, you know, when you think of festivals, you think of Montreal, you think of New York, you think of Australia, of course, but now I thought that was so important by putting Africa on a map. So now people are going to be like, have you performed in Melbourne? Have you performed in New York? Did you do Africa yet? Like when I talk to people about performing in Africa, they and they have good reason to be, because we got a lot of ignorant Americans over here, but they're all like, they understand English? Like, where do you guys perform? In casinos, in clubs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you being in England, did you have to get used to the British sense of humor and then remember that you still black and then remember that you still travel, unlike a lot of British comedians?
It actually wasn't that hard because Malawi, like a lot of Africa, we were a British colony.
Oh,
right?
Got it.
So
Okay.
I grew up in countries which were African, but at the same time, we're learning English. We're learning about William the Conqueror and British history and stuff like that.
Got it.
So my sense of humor already was closer to British than it was to, like, say, an American sensibility.
Got it. Well, you had to understand why we don't really deal with the British too tough. They try to colonize us.
Exactly.
They think we forgot.
When they travel, they go shopping. They're like, I'll take some of that. I'll take some of that.
Right. Hey, here, while I got you on the screen, what do you think about the political situation in America right now between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? And if you were an American, who would you vote for and why?
It's terrifying. I'll tell you what's crazy is I have never watched a Malawian political debate. I watched that Clinton versus Hillary because I feel like if Trump wins, it's going to bring on the apocalypse or something. I feel like we're in the first act of the end of the world. It's just so scary. I don't understand what's going on.
Man, are you married? Are you single? Do you have kids?
No, I have a girlfriend. I have no kids, bouncing around, ready for phase 2.
I know that's right. How long you and your girl been together?
So this is just like a year and a half. So
you know,
she's starting now to make the little hints, saying stuff like, oh, you know, I was invited to 4 weddings this year.
They never go to 1. They always go to like 9, like I'm a bridesmaid. Again, you was just 1 last week.
Exactly. All my friends have little babies, sending me little pictures of cute kids trying to get into your head.
I love it. Hey, tell me, with your dad being such a high educator, what was one of the big things that you learned from your father that you will tell your children when you do have some?
I think the big thing is, like, you can do anything. Because what's absurd is my dad had that typical...
Oh, you froze up?
Oh. Okay.
Another
Testing.
reason we don't like the Brits.
How's it doing?
The tellies. They tellies is always freezing up. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there you go. Daliso.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, you're back. Here, let me ask the question again.
Yes.
Because your father was such a huge educator, what is something that you will always remember that your dad said that you will be able to pass on to your children when you have them, maybe with this girlfriend?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that you can do anything, which I never would have questioned, because my dad went from village, like, you know, the parody of an African village with the mud hut kind of village, to Yale, to being in the government in his life.
To Yale.
Yeah. Wow. So seeing that arc made me think, hey, I can do anything. You know what I mean? So.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about My Child, the cartoon, the Azanian All-Stars. Man, yeah. How cool is it to be able to write, to be able to be in? Do you understand the influence of this cartoon that we're doing, man? Like, I mean, my character is Desmond Tutu mixed with a fire-breathing dragon. Okay? I get to talk about Jesus and then burn people at the same time. Like, it's about to be the planet's South Park, man. How when you think about like what we're about to do with animation and what we're doing internationally with bringing people together, man, how does it make you feel?
I think it's great because animation is like there's no color. They can't see who you are, right? You're just a voice. You can be a character. You can do anything. I think it's why, like if you look at the big blockbusters of all time, it's stuff like Toy Story. And I think that's the thing. It can go from culture to culture. We can talk about anything, and we can hide. If I offend somebody, they didn't know it was me. It was that cartoon character.
Right. I didn't say it. Right.
We can say all the stuff we're afraid to say because someone will punch you. We can put it in a cartoon.
Yes. They say Tyler Perry don't steal jokes. Medea does.
Exactly.
Well, how can people get a hold of you, man? And, I know it's a lot of people that's interested in writing, and just how can people like chop it up with you and just find out more about Daliso Chaponda? So
mine is very easy. Mine is africancomedian.com. I'm sly. I took it before anybody else.
Smart.
First a doctor, because I actually studied computer programming. So while no one had websites, I was on it.
I know that's right, though. africancomedian.com. You took the whole, they could go to your site, pull up everybody.
And it's just me.
I love it. Daliso, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule, man, to sit down with us, man. We're looking so forward to working with you the rest of this year and next year, man. Any parting words you want to give us?
No, just keep laughing, keep smiling, and it's going to be great.
Straight up. Appreciate you, man. Hey, it's Griff with the Azanian All-Stars live from Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell here in the States. In Dallas, Texas, we'll have more crazy Azanian All-Stars coming up. Keep subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Fabulous.